I'd like to talk to you about my humble shoestring budget hobbyist level YouTube recording studio and some of the simple equipment that I use, such as microphones and lighting. Now, at first glance, this room probably looks slightly more fancy than it actually is, because the sad reality is that I am currently stood in my girlfriend's spare bedroom in front of a green sheet that's stuck to the wall, with a desk that's stuck to the wall, and some foam panels that are, you guessed it, stuck to the wall. So the green screen we'll very briefly discuss first, because it's the simplest but also in many ways the most interesting thing. For well over a decade, I've been making these videos, and it's only in the last few weeks that I finally broke and got a green screen. And that's entirely because I just have become so frustrated with how often the terrible weather here in Britain interrupts and stops me filming out and about. A lot of the to camera talking that I do, I like to do with a background of me being out down a path or a country lane and so on. And because the weather's been particularly bad in recent months, I've been getting really frustrated in not being able to get decent to camera shots done. So I thought, rather than hide from the elements and be indoors in front of a plain wall behind me, if I just try a cheap green screen from Amazon, well, it's got to be worth a go. And in all honesty, I've never looked back. I wish I'd have had one for years. It's fantastic. So I'm a big fan of the green screen. Just by the way, I better plug everything here properly. I'm going to leave a load of Amazon Associates links to a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about in the description and in the comments below, so you can see what the current going rate and the pricing for all this stuff is. There's not much that I've actually spent much money on in here, but as you probably know, prices on Amazon can fluctuate wildly in very short periods of time, so check the links to see what they're currently going for. And if you buy anything, I might even get a little commission. Anyway, shameless self-promotion over. Probably the far more interesting thing in this room are the little soundproof panels. Now, soundproof isn't the correct term, I know, but it broadly illustrates the idea that we're trying to get a better quality of sound recording while in this room. I think the proper term for this sort of stuff is acoustic treatment, which sounds infinitely more special than foam panels stuck to the wall. Now, I am lucky that my other half allowed me to just go wild in this room and stick a load of these to the wall. So what I would say, the basic core idea here is this is a plain, very empty square room, and without these panels on the wall, the echo is absolutely horrendous. So these are all here to dampen and reduce the echo level, of which they've actually done a tremendous job. And as I say, partly it's done such a good job because I've just put loads and loads, dozens and dozens all over the place. And these, again, were only cheap from Amazon, none of the fancy proper stuff or the really thick panels or anything like that. And so these came vacuum packed, so not perfectly symmetrical and perfectly formed once they've expanded. So if you're wondering why I've got them in such a weird sort of asymmetrical level and layout, that's the word I was looking for in here, then it's not because there's any logical reason to it. It's because I thought as they slowly change shape and shift over time, it'll be far easier to keep them hanging in a relatively straight and sensible looking order if they're just in small clumps rather than huge parallel rows and columns of them that are slowly shifting and going out of shape. I've just hung these with nails, which is a terrible idea, don't get me wrong, but it was a very easy and quick solution. But yeah, I'm really pleased with the result of them, even if it does give the room some sort of dystopian future look, as if, well, I don't know what should be going on in here, but I don't know, it feels menacing. Anyway, oh, what am I doing here? I'm trying to do this unedited in one take to camera. So next up, the lighting. Now, at the moment, I am stood in front of the green screen, and as part of the editing software creating a quality green screen effect, you don't want any really thick black shadows going onto the green screen behind you. So I have got two very small little studio lights on their own very small tripods, either side of me illuminating me. I've got the actual room light with the lampshade twisted towards me, illuminating me from above. And then I've got a really powerful torch that is currently shining up at the roof a few feet away behind the camera, which is again just helping to illuminate the whole room. And again, trying to stop any significant dark shadows forming on the background, which would create problems for the green screen editing effect in the software. But I really like my two little recording lights, studio lights, sorry, because they are very handy to take out and about when travelling. So I can put them in my backpack and use them just to go out and in these lovely little rural places I like to go and light up the trees or interesting features that I find. And then, of course, I can talk in front of the camera with those in the background, or I can talk with those in front of me, also giving me a much more interesting, high quality light for the middle of nowhere dark place that I might be speaking in. So, yeah, those studio lights I'm a big fan of, and my super powerful torch I absolutely love too. When it comes to audio and sound, for a long time, until again the last few weeks, I have been using my phone's built-in camera and microphone to do my recording when I'm out and about. But I now have one of the little DJI wireless mics. If I can hold that up, I know I've probably just destroyed the audio quality for the recording now, but it's a really simple little microphone. It's really easy to set up with my phone and to use as a microphone for my laptop as well, so I'm really pleased with that. And as you can imagine, the audio quality compared to using the built-in microphone is absolutely exceptional in especially sort of echoey and loud background noise environments. So this is going to be a revolution for some of the recording that I do out and about. And it may even help to reduce the interference that the weather has on me being able to record out and about. It's got its little fairy wind hat on at the moment. Yeah, so the DJI mic, I absolutely love. That's a fantastic microphone. And what I've been using in the studio to record for years as well is a Blue Yeti whatever microphone. I think Logitech own the microphone company now, but it's the microphone you'll see a lot of streamers using. It's got really great audio quality, really great all-round performance that I've loved for years and years. But I think possibly because it spent a lot of time when I've been living on boats in the last decades, getting extremely cold when I'm not on the boat in the days and the nights, maybe a little bit of damp has got into it. So I'm not criticising it at all because it's given me years of excellent service. It's been treated very roughly on many occasions, travelling around in my backpack while I've been cycling places. And it's only just after years and years of loyal quality service started to not give me consistent recording quality. But still, I can't praise it enough, and I don't feel that it owes me anything from the treatment it's had and the quality it's given me over time. So yeah, that's some little bits of curiosity for you. The simpler bits of equipment I use are also probably the worst quality bits, and that is my tripod and my selfie stick. So I just use a phone adapter mount for both of those, of course. But the tripod is an old Vivitar tripod, I believe, which must be well over a decade old at this point. The little handle to crank the tall column from the centre up and down, well, the handle is actually missing. The selfie stick is one that I've borrowed off my girlfriend, which was just the cheapest, simplest selfie stick. So as I'm out and about, if I move it too quickly, it hasn't got the strength to hold my phone upright, and the phone will twist around and hang down from the stick rather than being above it. So yeah, those are two things I definitely need to look into replacing. And also, probably the weakest link in all of my setup is the laptop that I use to make all this stuff and post all this stuff from, which is a 2020 M1 13-inch MacBook Air. So it's a great laptop. In its time, it was fantastic when it launched. I love it. I've got great use out of loads of Apple laptops, and they last forever. Well, they last a very long time, we'll say, from my experience. I did have a much better laptop, but foolishly I downgraded again because I thought it was overkill. But now that I'm doing loads of videos and posting loads of photos and shorts and long form video, I'm really missing having a more powerful processor to get videos exported quicker and a much bigger screen to work with. I went from a 16-inch to a 13-inch screen, and those 3 inches over the sort of actual floor space of the screen, the footprint of the screen, is unbelievable how much more of a difference that makes than I thought it would. So yeah, the laptop's definitely something I need to replace in the future. But again, none of these things are cheap, and they seem to be going up at a rapid rate as well in price. So yeah, all in all, I'm really happy with my recording studio and my recording setup for out and about and getting all of the raw footage from beautiful places to show you all. And I hope you've enjoyed this look around my humble little setup and my humble equipment. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you're curious and want to help me out, please consider checking out my Patreon. I post a lot of free stuff there as well as some exclusive bits and bobs. And if you really want to help me out, consider checking out the books that I've written about life on a canal boat in the UK. Feel free to add me and follow me on things like Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and all that stuff. And well, you'll find links in the description to find the stuff from this video as well as my profiles all over the internet. Until the next time, my friends, keep it interesting, keep it boat worthy, have a fantastic day, and of course, farewell.